This presentation will guide you through the cleaning and servicing of the Dexter water inlet valves. Dexter Laundry recommends that all service and troubleshooting be done by a qualified service person. Live voltage is present inside of every Dexter machine. Extreme caution should be used if you decide to troubleshoot your equipment. Dexter Laundry always recommends that you disconnect power to your washer or dryer before attempting any service. Warning: failure to follow these instructions can result in death, fire, or electrical shock. To resolve a water inlet valve issue, you will need a volt-ohm meter, a standard screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, the Dexter 6324 service key, and a ratchet with a 5/16 and 1/4-inch sockets or nut driver. If slow or restrictive water flow is observed, start by turning off the power and the water supplies to the machine. Remove the top panel by removing the 4 Phillips screws from the soap dish. Use the 6324 Dexter service key to unlock the washer top. Use the standard screwdriver to pry up the corners and remove the top panel. Locate the water valves on the left rear corner of the washer. It is always a good practice to put a towel over the variable frequency drive before conducting any service to the water valves. First, inspect the inflow screen on the water valve for debris or buildup. Remove any debris or obstructions found on the inflow screen. Also, inspect the water supply lines for debris or obstructions, and remove any debris or obstructions found in the supply lines. Reattach the inlet hoses and open the water supply lines. Then, restore power to the machine and start a cycle. While the machine is calling for water, check for voltage at the appropriate water valve. 120 volts AC should be present to operate properly. If voltage is present and no water is flowing through the water valve or the diaphragm needs to be replaced. If water is constantly flowing through the water valve, turn off the power to the machine or pull the fuse from the fuse holder. If no voltage is present and water is still flowing, the diaphragms or the complete water valve will need to be replaced. Start by turning off the power and the water supplies to the machine. Then disconnect the electrical wires from the water valve. Disconnect the water supply line to the water valve needing repair. Then, using the ratchet and the 5/16 socket, loosen and remove the 2 5/16 screws securing the water valve to the rear channel of the washer. Using a ratchet and a 5/16 socket, loosen the hose clamp securing the fill hoses to the water valve. Remove the hoses from the water valve. The water valve can now be removed. Using a ratchet or nut driver and a 1/4-inch socket, remove the 2 screws securing the coils and remove the coils from the valve body. Next, remove the 3 screws securing the mounting plate to the valve body and remove the mounting plate. Next, remove the solenoid guides. Be careful not to lose the actuator or actuator springs from inside the solenoid guides. The diaphragms from the valve can now be removed. Clean and inspect the valve body for damage. Reinstall new diaphragms to the assembly. Reinstall the actuator springs, actuators, and solenoid guides to the valve body. Then, reinstall the mounting plate and secure it with 3 screws. The valve coils will be installed and secured with 2 screws. The rebuilt water valve assembly or a replacement new assembly can now be reinstalled to the machine. Connect the fill hoses and tighten the 5/16 hose clamps. Reinstall the 5/16 mounting screws and reconnect the supply lines to the water valves. Reconnect the wires to the water valves in the same order they were removed. Replace the top panel and secure it with the 4 Phillips screws. Then, lock it with the 6324 Dexter service key. Open the water supply and restore the power. The washer is now ready for use.